This is Lab 26. Okay, so when you get into Lab 26, there are a couple folders in here. The first one is instructions. They talk about, well, that's not them, sorry. They're right here. Actually talk about a video and some different things. That video does not exist. This is the new video. But we're going to prepare financial statements. All right, and then this is an example that's done. There's no video to go along with this, so there's no example. There is a key in here, though. So there's an example trial balance, the example financial statement templates, and then the key for them. And then you have to click into Lab 26 again here to get to our trial balance. So this is the trial balance we're going to be using, and there are financial statement templates in the Word version. As usual, I'm going to prepare mine using Excel. So here's what the Word version looks like. You're more than welcome to use them. They're set up with the headings already. I'm going to type them up in Excel because I like to use it to add and subtract and whatnot. All right, so we have to do a multiple step income statement, statement of retained earnings, and a classified balance sheet is what we have to do. So the first thing that you have to do is the income statement, because we need net income to do the statement of retained earnings. All right, so it's where a mask company income statement for the year ended April 30th, 2020. All right, and it starts with net sales revenue. I'm going to actually make this bigger. All right, so 358. Oops. And then we do less cost of goods sold. And you subtract that out or add it up, however you want to look at it. And that is gross profit. Then we have operating expenses. So we're going to have selling expenses first. I don't necessarily care of the order, but I'm going to put selling expenses first. All right, our selling expenses are rent expense, commission expense, and utilities expense. Utilities. Alright, so it's $10,000, $20,000 for commission, and $5,000 for selling. So actually, I'm going to scoot this over because I want to subtotal these right here. Then I'm going to have administrative. Sometimes it's general and administrative, whatever you would like to call it. All right, so we have rent again, salaries, and utilities again. So our rent is $12,000, salaries are $60,000, and utilities are $2,000. I'm going to sum that up. I'll draw a couple lines here. All right, and then I'm going to have total operating. Add the selling and the admin together. And then I'm going to take that gross profit and I'm going to subtract out those operating expenses. And that is my income from operations. Or you could call it operating income. I'm going to have non-operating or other items. I'm just going to call it other items. Okay, so we had interest revenue up here for 37. It's a positive number because it's revenue. And we had interest expense 20, and it's an expense, so I'm going to make it a negative number. And then I'm just going to net those two. And then I'm going to do my income from operations plus that, because the revenue was more, so it's a plus. And that is income before income tax. Then I'm going to have income tax expense is 22,000 minus 22,000. And that 187 is my net income. And I'm going to draw some lines here. Have them all. And I'm just going to make everything dollars because I don't want to spend the time splitting it up. And I think it's fine. All right, and then you can also merge and center. All right, that's pretty good for that one. All right, then I need to do the statement of retained earnings. I'm just going to scoot over here and copy this. Okay, so we start off with retained earnings. If it's April 30th, May 1st would have been the beginning of our year. All right, and that is this number right here, the 75,000. We're going to add net income. And it's the 187 from down here. That's a subtotal. And we're going to subtract out dividends. Dividends are 28,000. And that is our retained earnings at April 30th of 2020. This would have been May 1st of 2019. And we need a few lines. And I'm just going to make them all dollars again. All right, and then we need to do a classified balance sheet. Gas company, balance sheet, and it's just the date. Okay. classified balance sheet. So we have our assets. And I think I'm going to do report form. So they're on the top and the bottom. All right, first up are current assets. Our current assets are cash, account receivable, merch inventory, office supplies, and prepaid rent. So 137, 71, 305, 14,000, and 20,000. Our total current assets will be the sum of that. What's happening? What I just did? Did I do something? No. Okay, then I'm going to have plant and equipment, or plant property equipment, whatever you would like to call it. I'm going to have land. Okay, so we have land. And actually, I think we're going to have to move these over. The nice thing about Excel, it makes it easy to change things. I'm going to put the land here, 350. And I'm doing that because for the building and equipment, we're going to just accumulate depreciation. So building is 450. And remember, you subtract out the accumulated, subtract out. So minus 100. Then we have equipment and accumulated. So 480 minus 10. Alright, so let me get those subtotals. And that's actually it for the plant, property, and equipment. So this is going to be total plant and equipment. And I'm going to sum those three up. And I'm going to sum up the plant and equipment plus the current assets. And that is my total assets. Alright, let's put a couple lines here. That needs a line. This needs a line. These two need a line. This needs a line, and this needs a double underline. And then I'm just going to make them all dollars. Okay. Then we're going to have liabilities and equity. All right, liabilities are first. And current liabilities. All right, so our current liabilities are account payable. Pico. Unearned revenue. Sorry. I'm yelling at the dog. He's barking. And it's 9:52. Salaries payable. And that's it for the current. So I'm actually going to put those on the inside column. 47,000. 25,000. That's 250. And 16,000. And I'm going to sum those up. This is total current liabilities. And we're going to have long term. And we have note payable. And a bond payable. All right, our note is $375 and our bond is $475. That's our total long term. And then our total liabilities are those two added together. Lines. Okay. We have equity. Okay, as you saw in the chapter on stockholders' equity, which I think is chapter 13, we are now dividing our equity into paid-in capital, which consists of the stock accounts and retained earnings. So we're dividing this little section up a little bit. So in paid-in capital, we're going to have preferred stock, the paid-in capital in excess of par. I'm just going to put paid in excess. Okay, and then we're going to have, I'm going to go ahead and type the numbers in for that. 50,000, 100,000. Common stock is going to be 200 and 300. Alright, so common stock and paid in excess. I guess we should be saying from common and preferred here. Alright, so that adds up. And that's our total paid in capital. And we have retained earnings, which comes from, this is statement of retained earnings. Where is it? There it is. Statement of retained earnings comes from there. So 234. And you add those two together, and that's total equity. And then total liabilities and equity. You add the equity plus the liabilities. Oh no. And we're off. So let's see what we're off by. Because it should equal this 1,717,000, right? Alright, I'm going to find it, and then I'll let y'all know what it is. I found it. Cost of goods sold, I put the number for interest revenue instead of for cost of goods sold. And the difference there is $105,000. Alright, so this is going to change to 142. Oh, let me make it a minus because that's how my formula is set up. Alright, that changes net income to 82. So this needs to change to 82. That changes that to 129. And that means this retained earnings needs to be 129. And now it all balances out. So I'm just going to put some lines in. And I'm going to make it look pretty. So block it off, merge and center. Block it off, merge and center. I'm going to draw a thick line at the bottom of it. I'm going to merge and center my asset title here. And maybe make those two bold. You don't have to do the bold stuff. I think it looks better. Makes it easier to see. Ow. Dude, what is happening? Don't know what was going on there. Okay, well, I'm going to finish making it pretty. But that's what you have to do for that one. So do the financial statements and save them and upload them.